birds can read. Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys my December TBR. This is going to contain my December Bookopoly. I've got an unwrapped book, I've got some review books I need to get through, and like end of the year sort of books to get through as well. And I've also, well, to be honest, I am participating in a couple of readathons this month as well. We've got the Book Junkie Trials readathon, and we've also got the Magical Hogwarts readathon as well, which I'm going to be participating in. So the Winter Hogwarts readathon, that is going to be sort of done as like a chapter sort of thing. So like every Sunday of December pretty much releases a new chapter of prompts. So I have yet to decide my TBR. So what I'm thinking of doing is, as soon as a chapter is released, I will film my TBR for that chapter and upload it and do it that way, because at the moment all of the chapters are obviously locked. I can't get into them, so I can't really show you a TBR. I really can't really like interlope it in with this as well, but I'm hoping if the books that I come across that come out, I'm hoping that maybe I can use them towards the readathon. That would be like really good. So the Book Junkie Trials is December. It's literally like beginning of December, so it's not a very long readathon, and the whole point is to read as little books as possible. So I've managed to get into a buddy read for Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nyan, and this book I do own a physical copy of, and it is on my TBR for me to read. So I feel like this is perfect, so I'm hoping that I can also interlope that with my Bookopoly, but we shall find out in the next clip what book genres come out and that sort of jazz. So that is the book that I'm going to be reading for the Bookie Trials that's in December. And like I say, I can't really do a TBR for the Harry Potter readathon yet because the chapters release every Sunday, but just stay tuned for separate videos for those prompts that I put towards those books. I'm going to try and use my TBR books for those. So with those out the way, you're going to next see my Bookopoly board, my wonderful Kick-Ass Can Read Bookopoly board. To be honest, ever since I've done the Bookopoly, I've been sticking to my TBR, which has been really good. However, I haven't been reading a lot. So I feel like I've done really well this month because I've actually managed to read mostly the books that have been on my TBR. So I've read definitely one prompt, which was also a review book, and I was finishing off a couple of other currently reading books as well. So yeah, it's been a bit of a mixed bag, but onwards and upwards. At least I'm reading. I'm really in the reading mood. So the next clip you're going to see is the Bookopoly board. Hello and welcome to the Bookopoly board. This is the position that we were in November, and as you can see, we've got our community shelf and our chance cards, and then we've also got the board too. I'm going to turn them like that just so I can move the counter around. So I've got my dice here, and as always there is going to be 5 prompts a month. I think it is doable. 4 is for 1 book a week, which can be doable if I really put some effort into it. If I roll a double, it means I need to add a book onto my TBR, and unfortunately it has done me in the past. So in November I actually managed to have 6 books on my TBR, but I didn't get round to reading them, unfortunately, and it was a shame, but I managed to get 1 of them off, so I had 5 that I didn't get round to reading. Okay, so this time we are going to go with a roll. We have 4, 5, 6, 7. TBR jar machine. So I'm gonna pick out of the TBR jar machine in front of you guys. So let's give it a good shake. It's very full up, but we are gonna pick one, and the first one that comes out is the one that we're gonna go with. One here. This one is Marley and Me. And here's the book right here, Marley and Me by John Grogan. This was turned into a movie. I've got the movie cover edition. I actually got this a fair few years ago now, and I got it from a charity shop. I know that for a fact. And I've not seen the movie yet because I really wanted to read the book first. But I know that it is a rom-com sort of thing, and like really cute, just about this dog. The world's worst dog will bring out the best in their family, and a story of a family in the making, a neurotic dog who taught them what really matters in life. I really think it's going to be a really funny book, so it'd be brilliant if I could actually get around to reading it. And the really cute thing is there's actually pictures in this version of the book as well, so I think that's like really cool as well, of like the dog that this is actually based on. So I think that's really cool, and yeah, totally looking forward to getting around to this hopefully in December. Time to roll again. 6, 7, 8, 9. LGBTQ+. For this one, I have decided to put City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. Obviously, there's the relationship between Alec and Magnus, which is LGBT. And I just thought, you know, because it's got an element of it inside this book, I have put this on the past couple of my Bookopoly TBRs. I still haven't got around to reading it, and this would actually be a reread as well. So I would like to get around to it, and I'm so determined to. So I'm pushing it forwards again. I'm hoping I can get around to it. I need to, and yeah, I really need to get around to book number 5 in the Mortal Instruments series. Rolling for book number 3. 11. We have landed on a chance, and the chance card that's come up is to read a romance. So for this one, I'm actually putting it towards my review book of Dangerous Alliance by Janique Cohen, and this is a ostentatious romance. And it says that pretty much on the front. This actually releases in December as well, so it's brilliant that I can read this in December and get it read and completed. And I'm really looking forward to giving this one a read. I've recently hauled this as well, so I'm totally looking forward to it. And yeah, I'm really excited. So it's like, it says it's The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue meets Jane Austen, and yeah, I'm really excited to give this one a read. Rolling for book number 4. 6, 7, 8. Community Shelf. And we have here Garage Box number 20, any book. So I get to pick any book from box number 20 in my garage. So I went into my garage and I looked in box number 20, and literally the one that actually drew out to me the most for me to read was Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. I've had mixed thoughts and feelings about this. I'm hoping I'm going to be one of the people that do actually enjoy it. I really like the sound of it, and I love things that are just over some sort of message. So whether it's text message, whether it's email, whether it's like post-it notes, like I really love those sort of like quirky ways of contacting each other. So I feel like I'm going to enjoy it. I'm hoping that I really do, and I'm really excited about this one. And then rolling for hopefully book number 5. Oh, I did say hopefully. And we move along to 2, which is to read another romance. So for this one I have put Looking for Alaska by John Green. This is the TV series cover edition. I have watched the TV series, I watched it all. The first time I actually had this book I didn't complete it, I think I couldn't really get into it, but then since watching the TV series it's really given me an urge to give it another go again. So I purchased the TV edition because I really love the TV show, and I'm hoping that I can get into this a lot better. It's been a few years since I have tried to read the book anyway, so I put this because there is a romance in this book. There's actually like several romances that are in the book, and especially you can see them in the TV show. And yeah, so I thought this is perfect. I'm so glad that I managed to be able to put this towards one prompt for my Vocabulary. I was hoping that I would get away with it. 4, 5, 6. Audiobook. And for the audiobook I have gone for Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I tried to get around to reading this in November, but I actually couldn't, unfortunately. So I'm pushing this forward for December, and yeah, I really want to give this illustrated edition a read. And I feel like listening to it, because I have done before with the other illustrated editions, I've listened to Stephen Fry reading it whilst I'm like reading it as well. So yeah, I'm going to do that again and hopefully get around to it, and I really want to. So and this is my favourite Harry Potter book of all, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. So this will be the position that we will start with in the brand new year of January. We are on audio book. And so those are my Vocabulary books. I have 6 in total. I'm hoping that I can get around to reading them. I'm going to try and prioritise those books in December. I'm going to try and do my best anyway, but I do have a couple of other review books that I need to get around to reading, and these are recently hauled as well. So I've got Una, and this is by Margarita Montemore. This isn't actually released until March, but if I could get around to reading it in December that would be brilliant. So not like a massive urge to sort of like read it just because it's a few months away from release date. And the other one is Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli and Aisha Saeed, and this is a February book proof. So again, like not too massive, like urgent to get it read, but if I could get around to reading it then that would be brilliant. So I am plonking these on my December TBR as well, as a sort of like, if I feel like getting round to it in December then that would be brilliant. If not, they will definitely be on my January TBR. Next of all, I'm going to get round to my unwrapped book. It's the very last one left, so I don't even have to do my little spinny app as well. So the last number 3, and I'm going to unwrap it. So I don't know what this book is. I am going to unwrap it from this side, I think. It looks like a more approachable side. I hope it's going to be a good one. Oops, no. Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. Oh, wow, okay. So I've got The Madman's Daughter by Megan Shepherd. Wow, I haven't had anybody read this book in a while. I've had this for so long as well. I'm so glad this came out actually, because I've had it for so long. And it's a book that's based in 1894 as well. I'm really excited because I'm totally in the mood for a good old historical fiction. And I've already got the Jane Austen one as well, but I've got this one now as well. So yes, it's really cool. I know this is the first book that's in a series as well. Oh, that's really cool. So I hope that I can get around to reading this. That would be really brilliant as well. So that would be really awesome. So other than those books, I also have some other books that I would like to read as well. So first of all, here I've got the Shadowhunters Codex by Cassandra Clare and Joshua Lewis. This was on my November TBR as well, but I would like to push it forwards to December as well, because I'm not going to get around to reading it in November, as today is literally the 29th of November. I've literally got today and tomorrow, and I'm not going to get around to reading it. I'm going to be totally and brutally honest. So I want to push it forwards because it is a book that I've had for quite a while, and I can read it alongside City of Lost Souls. So yeah, and it's just a good side book to sort of have as well. So if I can get around to reading it in December, then I will, but I just really want to push it forwards because, you know, it's a book that I've had for a while that I should have read by now. Next of all, a book that is on my books to read in 2019. I haven't done very well with this list this year. I have totally failed. I'm definitely going to be doing less books for next year. I think I need to just have like a list of 10 books or something that I want to read in 2020 rather than like 20 books or something like that, because I've only just pretty much achieved my goal of reading 50 books, so it is very hard to achieve. And so this will be a reread for me if I do get around to reading it. I'm hoping that I do. I was looking at my list of the books on this shelf, and those are my rereads, and this was the one that was jumping at me the most, which is Maybe Sunday by Colin Hoover. So maybe I'm thinking if I'm feeling very slumpish and I really need to get out of it, this is one of my favourite books, so this will be used as one of those things. And you know, it's a romance. I loved it the first time, but it's been so long since I've read it, and I really want to give it another reread, so this is going to be like my saviour for the month, I think. And then from the shelf behind me, from books that I haven't read, of books to read in 2019, I've put The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Everybody has read this, I feel like, especially last year and even this year. Everybody apart from me, and I've got a real big urge to give it a read, and I've heard so much about it and I keep hearing about it, and that's why I've put it on this list as well, just in case I'm just like, that is the next book that I'm going to read. So I am putting that on my December TBR. Next of all is a graphic novel that I really want to read. It's a recent one of mine, and this is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. It's a legendary edition, but I really, you know, this will be just a quick and easy read. This would be perfect for a readathon. So maybe like if the magical Harry Potter readathon has a prompt, then this would be perfect for it. So I'm so looking forward to this one. I'm really excited. So this would be like a get me out of jail free card. And then finally, a book that I really want to read is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. And yes, I've had this ever since release pretty much. I'm so excited for it. I really want to give it a read, and I'm hoping that I can get around to it. It's more of a dark sort of book, but I keep staring at it, and so yeah, this is why I'm putting it on my December TBR, just in case I do have the urge to read it. And this is the thing, like, I'm quite a mood reader, and with the Bookopoly I have to put certain books to, so it makes me branch out of my comfort zone. And I'm using my TBR jar. I'm picking the genres that I don't usually pick, you know, with like the LGBT, I don't usually pick that sort of thing. And, you know, it's getting me to listen to audiobooks, so it's getting me to do things I don't usually do. But at the same time, every month, obviously, there's going to be books I really want to read. So that's why I want to mention these books, because out of the shelf that's behind me, these are the books that I really do want to read pretty soon. So that's why I've mentioned those past few books that are there. But I'm also going to mention the unwrapped books, and also books that I'm currently reading from, because it could be potentially that I do read from those as well in December. December for me is going to be mostly about mood reading. I'm really not going to be, to be honest, like frustrated with myself if I decide to change my mind on certain things. So that's why I'm mentioning these books. That's why this video is going to be so long, because I just want to mention books that I could possibly be reading. So this first little bit, obviously my Bookopoly books, I'm going to try and stick to those, as well as mix in some books that I really do want to read. But at the same time, I'm going to share with you my unwrapped books and books that I am currently in the middle of reading. So first of all, I'm going to share with you my list of my unwrapped books. So in January, I had this book, and I did try and put it on a couple of TBRs, and I still didn't get around to reading it, unfortunately. And I still haven't yet because of, you know, certain things, certain TBRs. So this is The Next Together by Lauren James. February, I did manage to read my February book, but I read that in November. And then March's book is The Sky is Everywhere by Yandy Nelson, and I still haven't got round to reading that. April, I managed to read April's book. That was really, really good. And then in May I had Alice by Christina Henry, so I still haven't got round to reading that. In June I had My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton and Jodie Meadows. In June I had My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton and Jodie Meadows, and I still haven't got round to reading that as well. And then in July I had Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page, so I still haven't got round to reading that, unfortunately. And then in August I had Viral Nation. I did start it. I read like literally a couple of pages, but unfortunately I'm going to have to start from the beginning again. But I was actually really enjoying what I was reading. So that was really unfortunate that I didn't get around to finishing that. In September I had Dune by Carrie Corp and Laurie Langdon. Still haven't got around to reading it. Wasn't able to start it. October's book was Losing It by Cora Carmack. Unfortunately for November I do have Glitch, which is over here. I've only got 2 days left of November though, so I might not get around to reading it, but that is that book. So if I haven't got around to reading it in November, that is going to be in my December as well. And then obviously finally December's book, The Madman's Daughter. So I haven't done very well with my unwrapped books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here, but I've managed to read 2. So it's better than nothing. At least I managed to read a couple of them. But I'm still going to be doing the unwrapped books next year because it just creates a lot of randomness and everything. And yeah, I think it's brilliant, and I like unwrapping books a month, and it is like a surprise because I don't remember the books that I unwrap, so I think it's a really, really great sort of like mystery. Then this is my currently reading pile. It's ridiculous. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books that I have right here. And the unfortunate thing is that I do have a good memory with some books, so I can remember everything that's happened in these books, which is why they're still on the currently reading list. So the first book that I'm still currently reading is American Royals by Catherine McGee. I started this as a review book when I first got it, and then I put it down. I was actually kind of enjoying it, so maybe December is the month where I actually go back to my currently reading books as well. Definitely is going to be January. January's TBR is going to be getting rid of these currently reading books. But I am really enjoying this book, but I'm just under 100 pages through this one. Then I've got The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, which I am like 100 or so pages through this one. Again, really enjoying it. I just have to put it down for things like readathons. And then I've got The Lost Girls of Camp Forevermore by Kim Fu. And this book, to be honest, I wasn't really feeling, and that is why I'm struggling to get through it. I'm struggling to get through how it's written and how it's structured. And I know I'm not the only one with this book, and that's why I've put it down as well. But I am determined, because it's not like it's an awful book, but I'm pushing through it slowly, and I think it's probably going to be one of the like last currently reading books I managed to get through. But I will get through it, I am determined. Then I have The Princess and the Captain by Anne Laure Bondu, and this book I got quite a ways through. I'm on page 137, but I still remember everything that happened because I read it for the Book Junkie Trials, the previous one, and it was for my second prompt. It took me so long to get through my first book because you have to read the books in order. You can like skip books, and honestly the first book prompt put me in such a reading slump, and then I jumped into this and I was actually really enjoying it because this is a book that I've owned for years, even before BookTube. This next one I could actually read in December because it's a Christmassy book, and that is Katie Ford's The Christmas Stocking and Other Stories. So these are actually like short stories, so I might actually, to be honest, because they're short stories, this might make me feel good, the fact that I could read a short story. So this could be like a couch book. So actually I think I might put this onto my TBR because it's a Christmassy book. It's happening. I'll put it over in the other pile. Another currently reading book is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This book, I am page 173. I am really enjoying this book actually. I had to put it down for like readathons if I remember, and then yeah, other stuff happened Next up I have TTFN, and this is by Laura Miracle. I did start this book. I'm only on page 17 of this. It's told in instant messenger format, and I actually kind of like it. And I enjoyed the first book, so yeah, but I've had this second book for quite a while. So again, I started it and I still haven't managed to continue it, unfortunately. Same with Torch Against the Night by Sabah Tahir. Again, a couple of these books I have been listening to the audiobook of, and then I stopped. So with this one on page 176. But I am really enjoying it. I loved the first book, and I'm really enjoying this second book. So yeah, but I still remember everything that's happened in this book as well, so that's really good. So chapter 21, Elias. Who knows when I'll get around to reading it, but I am really enjoying it. This next book is Stranger Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This is my ARC edition. I show it like every time. And I haven't picked this up since I had pneumonia, put it that way. So this is chapter 14, page 107. I still remember everything that's happened in this book, and I did really enjoy it. I enjoyed it more the second time round than the first time round. And again, with Daughter in Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, this is my final currently reading book. I am on page 77, chapter 12. Pretty much sort of remember everything that's happened in this book, so that again, that's why I am currently middle of it. I had it tabbed out because it was like, I think it was either buddy read or a group read with people. I think it was for the group read, and yeah, unfortunately I just fell behind. It's still tabbed out though. So yeah, so those are my currently reading books that I could be reading from in December as well. It all depends. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm not really feeling this book, I'll go on to this one, and I can like dip in between these books as well. And especially if I'm in the mood where I'm like, I'm determined to finish a book, which I sometimes am. I have been looking at the currently reading pile as well. So that's why I want to mention these books, because I could be feeling reading one of these, but these are going to be the books I'm going to be reading from. I'm not going to be reading anything else, unless the only reason that I will is unless I am in such a drastic situation where I'm in such a slump, where I am totally just like, nope, not going to read anything else unless I read this book. Then I will go back to it, obviously, but that's the only time I could ever figure myself. But I don't ever want to get out of, you know, I don't want to ever get out of this sort of thing. Like, I want to stick to it. But my December Bookopoly, and even the books I really want to read, the books to this side that I've showed with you, the beginning, they're the ones that I definitely want to read. But these books, like the currently reading and my unwrapped books, they're going to be like maybes. So there you have it. This is going to be a long video. I do apologise for that, but I just, you know, December is going to always be a long video anyway, because it's going to be the end of the year of the books that we want to like finish and to get through before the new year starts. But like I say, January is going to be where I sort of cut my ties, and I probably won't read much else apart from like trying to finish these currently reading books, which I've got a lot, and they're all different genres as well, but I'm mainly going to be focusing on these currently reading books. If not, then I'm going to have to be like, nope, I start from the beginning sort of thing, and I don't want to do that because some of these books I'm nearly 200 pages through, so, and it was a lot of reading time that's in this pile of books, so I would like to try my best. But yeah, that's just what January is going to entail. So that is finally the end of my December TBR. The Bookopoly, the review books I would like to read, the books that I would like to read, my unwrapped book, my currently reading books, and my unwrapped book pile that's still not been read. So there you have it, guys. If there's any books from these piles, even if it's from my currently reading or from my unwrapped books, or any of the books, any books at all mentioned in this video that you think I should definitely read, let me know down below. And, you know, maybe your persuasion, maybe you'll be able to persuade me with your powers, with your motivational powers. I'd like to do really well in December. I would like to. I am going to be working a lot I've got my whole rota for Christmas and the first week of January already. So I know what I'm working. Some days I'm working 6 days, some days I'm working 5, some days 4. I'm working Christmas Eve and Boxing Day. I think I'm working New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. So I'm not really going to have any holidays to read in. I'm also starting rehearsals. I have started actually the rehearsals for the musical I'm in, which is every Monday and Wednesday. So I'm busy with that. I'm also working up until 2. And then I'm going to my rehearsal in the evening on those 2 days as well. So I'm really, really busy, but I am so motivated to read right now that I'm just in the right mood and the right place to read. So, which is really good for me. It's really, really good. And it's not often that I am in that place, but I'm really excited though. I'm really excited to get some reading done, and it's going to be my aim to get 5 books done. That's all I'm going to say is December, 5 books is my aim. 1¼ book a week. So it's completing 1 book and a quarter of another book a week. I'm sure I can do that if I really, really push myself to, but I've really, really got to be in the mood to. But luckily, days like today, evenings like today, I've got time to read. But I've also been starting Final Fantasy X again, so who knows. Anyway, I'm going to get off now because this video is already massively long already. Let me know if you've done your TBR video, link it down below in the description, and if you've done a TBR video already, link it down below in the comments so I can check it out. And same with your wrap-up videos. My wrap-up video is obviously going to be in a couple of days time because I have still got a couple of days left of November, so that will be up at some point. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video all the same. I really enjoyed filming it. I really enjoyed talking with you guys, and I know I don't often film so much anymore, or you know, I'm not very good at vlogging because I've been so busy and everything, but I try my best. That's all I can do. I try my best, and to be honest, most of the time I totally forget, so it is what it is sometimes. But anyway, that's it from me. Have a fantastic day wherever you are. Keep smiling, keep reading, and be happy. My name is Katie, and I will see all of you wonderful, awesome people in my next video. Bye!